Well, you got to realize something. Like I tell all the young people that work for me, you want to make your money, do it when you're young.
Why is
Because
that?
I would say the money I made then is what I have now. The money I make now, I spend. But that money...
But you reinvest now, right?
Yeah, but the money I made then is still in that same account. I never touched it.
Okay, slow down
Very
a little bit
important.
here. So what do you mean?
What I'm saying is...
You just saved up your bread.
Back in the day from then. Okay. So now the money, I live my life. I invest it or whatever, or I spend it.
You splurge on the dogs?
A little bit.
What type of dogs
I like to
are
make
they?
other people happy.
Yeah.
You know, I take care of people. Hey, this is Sharon Smith, and this is my golden hour.
Oh God, what's going on? Where am I going? Dad?
Yes, my son. I am Deuce, the deer god.
I'm so confused. Who am I?
Derek. Your true name is Darkules. Darkules.
Wait, what?
Yes. You are Darkules, the god of the forest. Season 5.
Hosted by your favorite podcast host, Big Bochi. You already know the deal, mother. What's up? Dun, dun, dun. Okay, before we start, before I introduce you, I've made a pledge to myself to introduce myself on every podcast in case someone who doesn't know me is listening. So, hey, everybody. I'm Connor Holloway. On Instagram, my name is Big Bochi, and we're currently running, I think, the best podcast in the city. It's also the biggest. And we're running it in the back of this random warehouse that it might look nice right now, but before you guys got here, it was chaos. There was dirt on the floor, XYZ. But this is the Golden Hours podcast. And if there's any sort of value that you guys who are listening or watching get from the episode, all we ask is share it with a friend, man. Sharon's got 1 million friends. She's going to share it with her friends.
100%.
Well, I hope I'm on my game today because you came ready. Sharon came with the Titan walk up Sanborn Court. She goes, I'm going to change this show forever. So, with that being said, Big Fresh in the building. No, we got to get you a mic.
Oh, yeah, like Jamie?
Yeah, we got to get you a mic soon.
I think that's a good idea.
Yeah, so he can just, you know, have feedback.
Get in on it.
We could do that easily, right? Yeah, let's definitely do that. And I have an extra mic. We'll do that next episode. But everybody knows this is a Boston show, right? And what's Boston without Dunkin' Donuts?
Oh, no, sorry.
And
Dunks.
Dunks, Dunkarinos. And what's Dunks without Sharon Smith? Dun, dun, dun. Hey, thank you for coming.
No, thank you for having me.
Do you kind of want to just give a quick synopsis about who you are and what you do?
Yeah, you got it. My name is Sharon Smith. I am a general manager for the Leo organization. I've been with them for over 35 years, and I'm also a franchisee in the Florida market.
The ultimate hustler. So when I was going on a sales pitch for the Masscast, and I was trying to, get some product in here for everybody to, some of the guests to use, and hey, it's a morning event, let's get some pastries. I went into the Dunkin's on Mount Auburn, Concord Ave, and I said, hey, I'm trying to get some donuts, and all the employees said, hey, you got to talk to Sharon. And I go, oh God, who's Sharon? Oh God. And so I walk up through the kitchen, through the back, up the staircase, and there's Sharon, 2 feet up on her desk, like a boss, like a mob boss. She goes, I heard you called for me. What can I help you with? But when we had started talking, I was like, how did you get to this point? Like, you're really the boss out here. And you said, I started flipping donuts like 30 years ago. That's what happened, right?
Yeah, 100%. Yeah, I was a baker, became a manager.
At the location in Cambridge?
What's the date today? The reason why that's an important date.
25th, 26th, August 26th.
Oh, that's interesting. Yeah, so as of August 25th, 1995 is when I became the manager. It took me out of the kitchen.
Of which location?
Dunkin' Donuts, Concord Ave, the one that you came to.
Oh, so that's been
My
the
boss
one.
came to me that day and said, listen, Sharon, I need you. I need you to take over. One of the main locations. And that's where it all began.
So how long were you working as a baker?
Prior to that, I was 15 years.
You were baking donuts for 15 years?
15 years. I started when I was a teenager.
Wow.
Yeah.
And so then at what point, so were you like, hey, I'm just going to stick it out with Dunkin' for life? Or did you know you were always going to rise up? Or
Yeah, I knew where I wanted to go in life, I ended up, I think back when I was baking, I ended up going to, Newberry College of Culinary Arts, and then just Dunkin' was like so small when I started, and then it just started growing.
Oh, the brand was small when you started?
Oh, yeah. Well, it wasn't as big as it is now. Oh, not even close.
Well, 'cause
We
you
baked
built,
it
well, you
back
built
in
it.
1980, think 84, 85, 84. You think back then, you didn't have Dunkins on every corner.
But was there any competitors? Was Honeydew big back then?
Honeydew, no, Mr. Donut back then, and then Dunkin's bought them out.
Mr. Donut?
Mr. Donut.
Where were they?
Do you even know that?
No.
Yeah.
I was
As
in
a
the
matter
womb,
of fact,
man.
right before I went to Vinny, I worked for Mr. Donut. I worked on Lexington Street in Waltham, and there was one on Watertown Street in Watertown, and then Dunkin's bought them out.
So have you always just loved donuts? That's been your thing?
Sounds like since I was like 16, I guess.
Well, are you sick of donuts at this point? You're like, oh, I'm just so sick of seeing it. I see it every day.
I love what I do. I love the people.
You close your eyes and all you think about is dunks.
Listen, that's why I don't sleep.
Well, yeah. So Sharon does not sleep, man. Sharon does not sleep. How many hours did you get last night?
Oh God, let me see. I might have did about 4 or 5 hours last night. I think I got lucky with the cold air.
And that's a good day for you.
Oh yeah.
Are you having audio problems? Okay, my fault. So 4 hours is nothing. You know that, right?
I bounced back and forth.
Was it 4 hours of straight sleep?
I think last night I got 4 straight sleep, and then got up, looked at the clock, started thinking.
Looked at the dogs.
Yeah, the dog.
Thought about Laura.
I banned them. I banned the dogs. All right. Last night I needed sleep.
Do you think you're just accustomed to that now?
Oh yeah. You get like that. You do the same thing over and over again. I'm saying to myself now, I'm 53 years old. I've been doing this since I started at 16, but I started Dunks, basically probably around 19 years old. Yeah, I think I was 19.
So you've been with them 34 years.
This October will be 35 with the Leo organization.
Wow.
Yeah. I've only had 3 jobs in my life, I think.
Mr. Donut, Dunks, and what was the other one? Lifeguard?
No, I don't swim.
Whoa.
If I want to. I worked for Siler's company, I think it was. Oh, no, Elite Donut. That's where I started.
Oh, so there was 3 donuts.
There was another donut shop, Elite Donut. They were the mob guys.
Oh, were they? They were affiliated?
Yeah, oh yeah.
Where was this, Waltham?
Funny. Oh yeah, on River Street in Waltham. Yeah, I think
That's
one
crazy.
of the brothers was married to one of the Angelios.
I'm just learning about it now. We had a guy up on the show who kind of knows about mob stuff. I don't really know a whole lot about it.
It's pretty interesting. Yeah.
Irish mob or Italian?
No, Italian, yeah.
So back in the 80s, you were like, all right, I'm going to start working for Dunks. And the brand is tiny at that point?
Yeah, it wasn't that big at that time.
And did you anticipate it like taking over the entire city, or were you just in the organization?
I think country wise, if you think about it, I mean they've just grown.
Well, America runs on Dunkin'.
Exactly, very good.
But so does
Oh yeah.
New England.
Yeah, well yeah. New England can't do it without Dunks.
Absolutely not.
Yeah, Dunks. I don't know. The name change, I don't know.
Yeah, so can you explain the rebrand kind of, cuz that's actually, why don't we just go through the history real quick. So, you're there in the 80s. And Dunks is like, what, a couple stores around the city?
I say, a few thousand maybe, or hundreds, and then it became the thousands, and then even the Florida market.
And was that the logo back then? It was still
Dunkin' Donuts. You got it.
Why do they go with the orange and pink?
I don't know. It was brown, and then they picked orange. And I don't know if orange. Well, I think Baskin got involved.
Baskin
Robbins got involved, and maybe that's how the pink came in. That's what I would think.
Is that why all the mobile marts and like all the rest stops around here, they have Dunkins and Baskins?
Yes, yeah. Well, there's not a lot of Baskins left.
Why
in
is
New
that?
England? They're based out of California. You know what I mean? So
and they're like milkshakes and stuff, right?
Ice cream. I think they had decent product, Baskin Robbins, but there's not a lot left. But the Dunkin's been through a lot. You know what I mean? Every 10 years it seems like, the Canadian company bought them out one time. The Bain company bought them out. And then, Baskin was part of somebody, and then Dunkin, merged with Baskin. That's how it happens,
Well, when did it start really picking up?
I would
when did donuts come from being freshly made to being imported into the store? Because that's kind of a mark of like, okay, now this business is huge.
I would say is when they started changing the stores. I say about the past 10 years, easily.
Probably earlier, right? I
Nah,
remember because
you
I remember
still
like
had some donuts. You still had people making them, you know.
I remember like 2003, 2004 when the Red Sox had won the World Series for the first time. That's when it was like, oh my God, Dunkin's is all over Fenway Park. Dunkin's
Right,
is
yeah,
like
yeah,
worked
yeah.
into all these marketing campaigns.
Oh yeah, they pay millions for campaign. You
I know.
With Red Sox.
Tell someone in corporate to get down here into the
yeah,
warehouse.
yeah. They do with Red Sox. You know, the Patriots, the Bruins. You know, they have up on the. It's a lot of money. You got to realize every franchisee is paying a percentage that's going into marketing off your weekly sales. You know, so that's how they're able to do that. You know, times every store that opens that we have, you know, it's going into that market.
So when you were 19, 20 and you had started at Dunk, so you were just a worker for like
Just making donuts.
for 15 years?
15 years I did it, yeah.
So most people at that point would tap out.
At that time, when I started that time, all right, so I was baking the overnight shift, going to Newberry College on Saturday, all day long, learning to be a chef. You know, go back to work that night, 6, 7 days a week, working double shifts. And I knew that I wanted to get somewhere, you know, in life. And I've gotten there.
Absolutely. And so most people would not be patient for 15 years though. That's like wild. So in your mind when you had started you were like I know I'm going to end up somewhere.
Oh, yeah.
You've always been like wicked
I was
determined.
never gonna stop. Whatever I got to do to get somewhere, you know, very
See, that's
eager.
that real hustle, boy.
Yeah.
I love hearing stuff like
No,
that.
I gotta tell you, just I knew it. You know, everything I learned. You know, Vinny. I've learned a lot from him. You know what I mean? Even in my outside life at Dunkin' Donuts, I learned, you know, how to save a buck, how to make a buck. You know, what everything I learned from him in the business, I've taken it back home. And I've done the same at home. I drive people crazy sometimes. I'd be like, why are you doing that? Why are you spending that on that? You're wasting money on that.
Are you're frugal spending money or
I'm all right. I wouldn't say that, you know. I think life's short. You know, I think I've learned that over the years. Mm-hmm. You know, I try to, but I know that, you know, I want to have a certain amount. You know, I just said last night.
But you're never going to retire.
I don't think so either.
There are certain
I'm going to go to the end.
Well, there are certain people, and I think I'm the same way. Who knows when I get to in my 50s? But there are certain people who just love working. You know, like I love to work.
Yeah.
It's like what makes me happy. Do you feel like you channel like if everything else is going wrong in your life, you'll just be like, all right, I'm just gonna work and save money.
Yeah, 100%. Yeah, you know, a lot of bad things that happen in life. We all go through bad situations, and you're gonna get through it. And then I'll just like put my whole focus in work. You know, and that's it. You know, just stay focused.
So you explain it like it's just 15 years, but 15 years is a long time to just be baking donuts every day.
Every night, overnight. I would start at 7 a.m. and go home, 7 p.m. and go home at 7 a.m. Well, you got to realize something. Like I tell all the young people that work for me, you want to make your money, do it when you're young. Because I would say the money I made then is what I have now. The money I make now, I spend. But that money...
But you reinvest now, right?
Yeah, but the money I made then is still in that same account, and I never touched it.
Okay, slow down
Very
a little bit
important.
here. So what do you mean?
What I'm saying is...
You just saved up your bread.
Back in the day from then. Okay. So now, the money, I live my life. Mm-hmm. I invest it or whatever, or I spend it.
You splurge on the dogs?
A little bit.
What type of dogs
I like to
are
make other people happy.
Yeah.
You know? I take care of people.
So during these 15 years, so this is like 19 and 34, there was never a moment where you're like, I don't, like, this is going nowhere.
No, never.
Well, there weren't like validating steps along the way. You're like, all right, I'm rising a little bit. Were you a baker for the whole 15?
Yep.
Wow.
Yep.
You really are a psycho.
Yeah.
Dude, could you imagine sticking with someone for 15 years and not seeing the fruits of any of your labor? Oh my God, you're a hustler.
Well, you think most people these days, you know, someone comes to me and they've had 10 jobs. I'm like, this person's not together, you know?
Well, yeah, you're also committed to the brand.
Oh, yeah. I mean, I love Dunkin'. I eat, sleep, Dunkins, all right?
It's in my brain. So, at what point, I mean, you must have been ready. this whole 15 years, you probably just understood the business in and out from
Yep.
every single aspect, right?
The front
like,
to the back.
Like you understood how you communicated with corporate, how you got product, how you marketed product, how you merchandise product, right?
Well, I would say that started, so the first 15 years, I would say going back probably around 1998 is when I started really connecting. Once I started working with my boss one-on-one, overseeing stores, running a store, seeing the business part, is when I really started learning about corporate and everything. It was definitely around 1998.
And so when he said, "Hey, I want to make you manager," this was he said, "Hey, I'm going to start opening up all these locations, and we're going to do a split type thing." That's how this works, or
No, he just put me in the office and he had to kick out some partners. And he's like, "Sharon, I need you." I was like, "All right." And I'm kicking them out. I want you to
then
take
you put your
over.
feet up on the desk.
That's it. I need you to take over this location, and then from this point on, we'll just see what happens. And that's what happened.
Are you the most successful in your family? Like from growing up?
Yeah, I would say so. Yeah.
Were you always different, kind of? Or?
I was eager, I took off at 18.
Oh,
Really, I was like, yeah, that's
rebellious?
it. I left, maybe a little bit around, being 16 or so, but at 18, that's it. I'm going. And I kind of took care of my family, too. So I kind of helped them a lot,
This is in Waltham, right?
Yep.
The Smith family. Deep ties.
Yeah.
Waltham's changed a lot, huh?
Oh, my God, it's crazy. Yeah, I've been out of Waltham now for about 14 years, but, I go through there all the time. It's just like, oh, my God.
That's where Boo and I get our haircuts.
No way.
Off Moody Street.
Moody Street.
Moody Street's popping.
Popping, yeah. A lot of big restaurants.
Is there
up there.
Dunkin's on Moody?
No, way up at Tedeschi's. Yeah. That's
Oh,
that's a
that's not-
shady part of town.
Just that Tedeschi's lot.
Yeah. Oh, yeah.
You're not at Tedeschi's lot, right?
He knows what I'm talking about. All right.
Or is it 7-Eleven or a Tedeschi's?
Tedeschi's. Yeah, the
Is it?
Tedeschi's. Yeah.
Tedeschi's.
Yeah, South Side. That's on the south side of town. That's where I was born.
South side.
Yeah.
Where,
I was born on the south side.
Well, you know,
moved
I
to
grew up
the
in
west
Lincoln,
side.
right?
Yeah. I know Lincoln.
so I'm from that part of Waltham, that forgotten part.
Listen, exactly.
That Office
all
Park
right,
part.
All right. We used to drive up there, all right? Trust it on bicycles, all right?
What is that called? Taunton Pond?
Taunton Pond Road.
Where Health Point is?
Yeah. Winter Street? Yeah.
Winter Street.
It might be Winter. Taunton Pond, and it turns into Winter over where...
Right around the reservoir, yeah.
Yeah, very good.
And it's a one-way there. You know what I'm talking about?
I think they made that a one-way years ago. When I was young, we used to go hang out up at the res.
You guys smoking cigarettes
Yeah,
by
no,
the
I never
reservoir.
smoked cigarettes.
No cigs?
No.
No booze ever?
Nah, I like to drink, but not now. Not the past, I say, 15 years. I'll have a glass of wine here and there.
I don't really drink either.
Yeah, I'm not into anything.
Okay, so let's transition real quick. So you're a boss, right?
Big boss.
Of course. Sharon Smith. And so you start working with your partners, opening up locations.
Yep.
Right? And let's note, I'm probably use this as the clip. A lot of my friends are eager. They're like, all right, I'm going to work this corporate job I hate for like 4 or 5 years, right? I'm going to stack up my bread, and then I want to try to start franchising businesses. What are some of the steps that you would take to effectively start franchising businesses, whether it's like a Subway or D'Angelo,
Right. I mean, basically what I would do right now, like we talked a little bit earlier about Dunks, you know what I mean? You get into the franchise. I mean, right now it's very difficult. They get a lot of franchise difficult right now, especially in the New England market with the wage going up. Small businesses are going to be hurting a little bit. It's going to be difficult. But if you already know somebody that's like if you want to get into Dunks, it's very easy to get in and work with them and become a partner with a franchisee already. To go out and do it on your own, Dunk is not going to let you in this market, unless it's already locked down. This market's locked down, without a doubt. Unless you come in, and I don't even see it happening. I know there's, quite a few franchise out there at Dunks in the New England market that are up for sale, but I know for a fact that an outsider coming in and wanting to buy it ain't going to happen. They put it out first to the people that are already in the circle.
Why is that? Because they don't want to teach someone the ropes to take a risk on somebody, kind of?
Well, I think taking a risk on somebody failing, yeah, that's a definite. But if they know that you're a good franchisee, like like the Leos, they're great. Every time something comes up, they always come to the Leos and say, "Hey guys, this market, these stores."
You
are
guys
for
been
sale."
making this money for years, like.
Oh yeah, we do good. We run tight stores.
Yes,
you know?
sir.
Yeah.
I went into the new store. Oh yeah, give a little promo for the new store. Where is it?
Oh yeah, 350 Pleasant Street in Belmont.
It's beautiful.
Yeah, it's gonna be an awesome location.
So what you're saying is like, all right, I want to get into franchising. I want to open up a business. I shouldn't go straight to corporate and say, hey, I want to own that. I should go straight to Sharon Smith and say, hey, let's make something happen.
Yeah, it was someone like Vinny. If he was interested in being a partnership and saying, hey, I like this location. That's how I would do it. I think going straight to Dunks, they'll send you to Indiana or something. Probably
where the market's not oversaturated.
Exactly. Very good. Yeah, exactly.
So when you open up the new location, how did you assess that? Because you have a bunch of Dunks all in the same spot. How do you assess the market at that point? Like for instance, so the new Belmont location is like from the Cambridge location might be 2.5 miles through Alewife.
Exactly. Yeah, exactly.
So how do you know that's a good idea? Wouldn't you think that's going to take some of the market?
All right, so Nick is Vinny's son.
Shout out to Nick.
That's right.
Shout out to Vinny.
He's the big brains, and he really analyzes it a lot. He'll see, what's going on. We've looked at a couple of locations in the Belmont area, close to us, down Concord Ave, over by Route 2. You got a lot of volume of people coming down Route 60, off of Route 2, going down Bright Street, going into Watertown.
Through the Alewife Zoo.
Very
in the
good.
morning.
Exactly, yeah, which it is. You
need a helicopter to get through there.
Yeah. So, we know that we will lose a little bit in the Fresh Pond area, our 2 locations, but we're going to pick up all the other volume that maybe goes to like Watertown, Dunks, or even goes to like Waltham or Arlington. We're going to grab it. They already analyzed that.
How do they analyze that?
You had traffic, a traffic study. They'll do a traffic study,
So did you guys not consider making it a drive-through instead?
The town would never let it.
Belmont's too
forget about
fruity.
it. Oh, yeah. I think we sat on the property for like 3 or 4 years before the Dunkin' was approved.
It was a gas station, right?
Yeah. Old, crappy gas station.
Well, it looks beautiful now.
Yeah, thank you, yeah.
So the new spot is like, it's franchised as Dunkin'. So everything new is Dunkin' now, right?
Yeah.
Why do you sound so disappointed?
Yeah.
Why do you sound so hurt?
I don't know. I think, the donuts has always been a part of their business. I think they're heading towards, the beverage part, saying Dunks,
Well, that's what I was going to say. Is it an effort to compete with Starbucks? Because the aesthetic of the new place has like a nice bar with all those tabs.
Yep,
it like looks like a nice Dunkin's version of Starbucks.
Yeah. It's like everything. They want to keep up with the Joneses.
We don't like that.
Yeah. We'll see what happens. They make a lot of changes. Sometimes it's for the good. Sometimes it's for the bad.
Well, why does corporate not check in with you? You know what I'm saying? I'm not even trying. I'm not trying to start a fire, but you're the one who's like seen the business evolve over 35 years. You understand the market better than most people. You ever think of like, hey, maybe I should just keep contact with people making the big decisions up top?
Well, they do. Years and years ago, they had this think tank thing, and I was part of it. Out of like the whole.
That was not your speed, right?
I enjoyed it for a while. You know what I mean? It was like they picked whatever through the whole country, whatever, like 5,000 managers to be part of this think tank and kind of get feedback. And this was probably about 10 or 12 years ago, and kind of get an idea. It went somewhere, but then they stopped it. And then now Vinny, he's on the ad committee. He's already the next meeting, I'm going to tell them, they get a lot from Vinny. You know what I mean? Me and Vinny bounce off each other. I get a lot from him. He gets a lot from me. We know what's going on in the real world. The corporate, they send out their little corporate people.
Little robots.
Yeah, they're robots. They get it. They get it. But it's like, in the real world, this ain't going to happen. And, Vinny, which I learned from him, it's true. You guys may think this is all going to be run like this, but guess what? In the real world,
you're the one getting it done.
It might not happen, but we're gonna get it done. You know what I mean? No matter what.
So another interesting point, which we had talked about when we were there, you're like, this is what'd you call it, a neighborhood store?
Yep.
Was that the word you used?
Yeah.
Neighborhood store?
Yeah.
So, Boo, it was like the new location they're opening up in Belmont is situated on the corner of this lot in this residential area. And so can you kind of explain why that's like a sought after property, like why people want to open up Dunkins in a residential area.
Well, you got to think about what's behind you, what's around you. You know what I mean? So
You got to
know,
watch your back.
Yeah. So never mind the traffic flow coming down during the week. But you got to think of how many people in square miles that live around that store, that location. That's another thing they look at. So whatever. You got, that neighborhood behind you could be thousands of people. On the other side of Pleasant Street, you're talking more thousands of houses. So if you get that foot traffic, people start to like you, except for the few enemies that didn't want you there. But they'll give in, and they'll be your best customer, I bet.
Let's get that pumpkin spice latte, right?
Yeah. They
Yes,
tell
sir.
You. And you
Have you guys started those up yet, the pumpkin spice?
Yeah, we started last week.
Do you drink those?
Nah. Once in a while I'll do, if it's cold out, I'll do pumpkin in my hot coffee.
Well, too foo-foo for you?
Yeah.
My sisters love them.
No way.
Sorry to cut you off. So you said
So you got to think of all those people living around that location, So if you grab, let's say, I don't know, even 30% of those people living there, that's huge. And I think it's going to do it is going to be a neighborhood store. You're going to get a lot of driving traffic, but it's going to be huge for neighborhood.
So wouldn't you, as a manager of franchise locations, wouldn't you, when you're going in location scouting, look for like a soccer park or something like that, where there's every weekend there's like moms and families that are always out? Is that like something?
Well, you think of Belmont High School. Belmont High School is right down the street. So
but Belmont Center is also right there too, with a Starbucks, right? You trying to watch them
you
out?
ever try to park in there?
Okay.
Yeah.
Here's the sales pitch.
It's very difficult, to get in, maneuver and out of there, Then they got the new meter maid guys in there, they don't give you a second, Trust me.
I know, it's vicious.
Yeah, and then look how small Starbucks is. You're lucky if you can fit, 20 people in there to stand in line. You know what I mean?
Here's that competitive edge.
So now you got a parking lot, and you got this beautiful Dunkin' Donuts right down the street. And I think that it's going to pick up a lot. We've already thought about the high school. So the high school kids already go to our Fresh Pond locations.
They're going to be smoking cigs in the parking lot.
Listen.
They're
I
going to
know
be doing drug
are,
deals in that spot, man.
So I just hired a few high schools, to come work for us. And they were telling me, they're like, on break time, these high school kids these days, they hop in an Uber to go to Dunks or Starbucks.
Way.
I'm like, what the hell happened, man, with the times?
Wait, so is it walking distance from the high school?
It's not bad. I can see kids hopping on their bike or running down there on their skateboard.
Times
or
have
something.
changed, man.
Yeah. Uber, I'm like, before you could even go in a car with a stranger.
I know.
And now you're letting high school kids take an Uber to go get coffee?
I know. That was another thing. Like, I forget who said this, but parents wouldn't even allow their kids to get in a car with a stranger, but now they'll pay for their Ubers. Isn't that wild? So, in your growth in the company, right, in your success story, how important has like pride in your work been for you? Like, in just making sure you do everything right. Because I've been in your stores, they're always clean, they're immaculate, everyone's usually happy, you manage people well.
Yeah, it's very important. And it's a challenge. It's not easy. I have days that I have chest pains and I go home and I'm like, oh my God. It's try to keep everybody happy. I think is the most important. If you don't have a happy staff, you're all done. If your crew's not happy, the people got to want to work for you. You know what I mean? If they don't want to work for you, they're not going to do the right thing. And my pride is like, to go home every day and know that these stores are right. And for Vinny to be happy. It's my job to make sure he's happy. Because when he's not happy, I'm not happy. It's very, very important.
Can you just explain the business relationship between you and Vinny and how that works? So, from what I'm understanding, is like Vinny is like the Vinny. I'm also a good guy. Can't wait to meet you, man. Vinny is like the kind of the numbers guy, the finance guy who makes all like the numbers and strategic moves. And he'll say, "Hey, Sharon, we got locations over here. I need you to go use your power and go pop those up and make them happen."
Well, on the numbers part, Nick, the son Nick,
okay,
the big businessman, him and his father are that. Vinny's the guy that, he's going to look and say, we're wasting money here, Sharon. I want you to go check this out. Make sure they're doing the right thing so that, the numbers, he's looking to make profit. You know what I mean? I think his dunks are the most profitable, especially in the New England market and the Florida market. 100%.
So Sharon also how many in Florida?
We have 10 locations in Florida.
How did that start?
Started with, Dunkin's came to Vinny one day. He owned a condo down in Clearwater Beach, and they're like, we got this location. You interested? So he bought one, and then from there, then we started growing, buying more, and then, whatever they say, about 7 years ago, I think it was, he came up to me. He's like, Sharon, you've been great. I'm going to bring you in as a partner. You've given me, 30-something years of your time. I think it's a good investment and something looking towards, retirement. This could work out for you. I'm like, all right, let's do it. First, I was scared. I'm like, and then him and, the boys.
You get down there a bunch?
Once in a while. I try to go down once a year. You know what I mean? We have other partners down there that live there that oversee it. But, we operational run it from here, too, especially me and Vinny.
Yeah, but that's tough for you. You're so hands-on. Isn't it tough for you to...
Listen, if I can go through the phone half the time, we got video review and, talking on the phone and stuff, but it's really difficult.
Yeah, you're terrible with your phone.
Oh, yeah, you know that. It doesn't stop, all right?
I was asking Sharon for I was like, hey, send me an HD picture. She was popping selfies.
Yeah.
It was awesome.
I'm learning, all right? I need a new company phone, all right?
Yeah, tell him to hook it up.
I know, I got it, man. I got to tell you, man.
Company car?
No. I got my car. He takes good care of me,
So you guys open up these locations.
Right.
And you're so hands-on. You're never thinking, like, how are my stores doing down there?
Oh, every day.
Yeah. It's scary.
Every moment. I'm on the phone. Put it this way. I live about in traffic an hour away. And that hour ride, I get a lot of work done, which I enjoy that. You know what I mean? Because on my way in, I'll call my couple of Florida stores, talk to the managers. I'd be like, hey, what's going on? How's everything going? Tell me you got problems. You know what I mean? On my way home, it'll be the same thing. So I try to fit in my ride in and my ride home with my Florida stores. Because during the day, I'm all about New England, and sometimes Florida. But I have a lot going on, especially with Belmont right now.
So that opens, right? You don't have to get too specific about the numbers, but what is the traditional startup to start a store? How much money do you normally need?
Investment-wise?
Yeah.
Well, I tell you, I know Dunkin, that property down there alone, just to build that location, because you also did the mall and a lot, and I know they're,
so they made a completely new building. And,
we got a couple of retail spots next door.
And you guys own the building, right?
Yeah.
So you're renting out the other two?
Yeah. Just guessing off the top of my head, I know it's, over $1 million easily. To get into Dunkin's, you definitely got to have collateral over $1 million, before they even let you in.
Especially in that area, too.
Oh, yeah. Anywhere you go.
So where do you want to take it, like, long term?
I think now I think we're ready to kind of, like, take it easy a little bit. Me and Vinny have been talking. I know, he's worked hard. He's got a lot with real estate, restaurants, Dunkin' Donuts, you know what I mean? And it's just like, he's in his 60s. I'm in my 50s. We're growing old together.
You are not old. You got a motor, man.
But we're going. But I'm telling you, I think that, I think I want to take it a little bit more. I want to keep things running like, a fine machine right now. And then
well-oiled
machine right now,
The Sharon Smith bus doesn't stop.
I think that
I might just quit the whole podcast and work at one of your stores. I would love to.
I think we got a lot going on. I think to take on any more right now would definitely be just way too much.
But you ever have aspirations outside of it? Like, hey, I could own like a 5-star. I could own a Ruth Chris downtown or a Morton's and make it happen.
Dunkin's my business. The guy who's doing that, I say, is Nick. Nick's got the Brickyard, Woburn. He's got you got to meet Nick. I'm telling you, we're gonna get you a Nick. He also's got Crudo's in the North End. He's got Tiki Rock on Broad Street by Faneuil Hall. That place is crazy. You guys, I'm
you
telling you.
Heard of these spots?
You know them? Yeah, my boss's son. Yeah, that's him. He developed them. His ideas is crazy. He used to hang out in New York City. He got all the themes from the places out there, and he just developed them here. But
Dunkin's on every corner out there too. Well,
yeah,
Starbucks dominates.
Yeah. I forget
New York.
Forget about it. Exactly.
Dunkin's can't tap into that. Do you think? Or?
Nah. It's tough. Yeah, New York's tough. There's a lot of people there.
Are you ever pissed when you're on a vacation or something? You walk into another Dunks and it's just like dusty.
Oh, listen, always. The first thing I do.
You gotta get your shit together.
I go into Dunkin', you know, my roommate would be like, go get me a nice coffee. I'm like, all right, let me go get you a nice coffee. Because I don't go to Dunkin'
Extra,
for somebody else.
extra.
No, just cream and mocha swirl.
Whoa.
Oh, yeah. She's like, okay, I'll walk in, all right, I'll go to the drive-thru. I'll be like, oh, God. And I hate when people complain to me about Dunkin' Donuts.
You hate
They
it.
call me up. I'm like, listen, I don't run every Dunkin' Donuts in Massachusetts, you know?
But I run the Sharon Smith bus. and we're gonna keep this going. So I'm learning a lot. So you think people management has been like your biggest mode to success?
Oh, yeah. I mean, you look at our organization
And you lead by example though too, right?
Oh, yeah, 100%. I mean, 35 years, you know, with him. And right below me, I mean, most of the managers, and I would take the pride into saying I think they stayed because of me, you know. And
Let's go, Sharon.
That's it.
Come on.
They've been with us for like 20 years. You know, they were like teenagers, and they just, you know, stayed on board, you know.
So, Abu, you got any questions? So, all right, let's say I'm a little tired, right?
Yeah.
I'm saying I got 4 hours of sleep like you. I can't handle myself like you.
Well, I can handle myself in 4 hours.
That's what I'm saying. You can, but I can't. I need 5. 4 is like, whoa. But I'm walking down the street, right? I'm like, damn, I'm tired, man. I'm exhausted. I need to get a coffee. And there's a Dunkin's right here, right? A Sharon Smith Dunkin's. And there's a Starbucks right here. Make me the sales pitch. Why am I going into the Dunks?
You know, you want to go to Dunks because, number one, it's totally a different product. You know what I mean? Starbucks is totally different. You know, you can give me that pitch, and you can look at me, and you say, hey, listen, this ain't good. I could get in trouble for this, guys. But anyways, you look at me, and you'd be like, oh, you go to Dunks on your day off? No, number one, I don't go to Dunks for myself on my day off. I go to Starbucks. You know?
Why?
Because listen,
Well, 'cause you
I'm in
live and
Dunks.
breathe it.
I'm
Yeah,
in
yeah.
Dunks all day.
You wanna switch it
I want
up.
something different. You know what I mean? You know, it's like, so there's certain, when I look at some people, I'd be like, you know, you're Dunkin' Donuts customers, you know, and you know you're Starbucks customers.
But why
You
do
know?
I go to Dunks?
You know, I gotta tell you got your people that want the, you know, I want to go and get my espresso at Starbucks, but I'm gonna go and get my coffee to take it home for my
I get
husband.
my nitro
or my
at
wife.
Dunks.
Excuse me, yep.
What's
Or
more-
I
what-
want to go. I'm going to buy my coffee here, but I'm going to go get my product over here at Dunkin' Donuts.
What's more powerful, the nitro or the espresso?
Oh, I think the nitro's going to kick it.
Is it?
Oh yeah. When that, that's going to kick it. They only sell a small size for a reason.
Is that coming out of one of those taps?
Yeah. That's going to be crazy.
The new store, everyone's got to check it out. We're giving you free promo over here.
Listen, I appreciate it.
But
it.
it looks
It's the
beautiful.
next generation, new image.
Mm-hmm.
Oh yeah, the store is just unbelievable. I love it. I don't even want to leave it.
Well, you probably sleep
I keep
there.
telling them, even
you probably sleep in
corporate.
the freezer.
Yeah, no. The corporate's like, who's the manager? I'm like, I don't know. It can be me if you want. They're like, no, it can't be. All right.
We'll take it.
Something about the atmosphere of that area after being in Cambridge for so long.
Well, you're in the chaos of Cambridge,
Oh,
so
God, it's just
Alewife
crazy.
Burke Parkway, man.
It's not even just there. We got a Charlestown location in Boston. It's just crazy people. You know, over the years being with Dunkin's, you know, you deal with so many different
yeah.
people.
What's been the worst customer complaint you've ever had?
Oh God, I don't know. I hope it wasn't the one that they complain about me to corporate because I don't take it from them.
Oh, from the employees?
No, from the manager, from the customers. I mean, some customers are just like, you know, come on, you know. I see him treating the employees bad. It's like, you know, what's wrong with you? You know,
You stiff arm.
especially in Cambridge. Cambridge is different. You know what I mean? Belmont's not going to be like that. I think I already feel that vibe in Belmont.
What do you
You know
mean?
what I mean? That the people, the customer atmosphere is going to be totally different.
More families.
Oh, yeah. More.
You get a lot of commuters at that one.
Yeah.
in Cambridge.
Yeah. Cambridge. And I can't even tell you the restaurant.
And
name.
you got Mama Goose right next to you.
yeah.
I love
Yeah,
Mama
Goose
Goose.
is good. Jimmy's great.
Oh,
Yeah. Magoo's is great.
would you get the chicken finger sub with the honey
How
mustard?
you know that? Yeah.
Yeah, I know. You've
Oh,
had
the
it?
buffalo chicken.
It will
Oh yeah, you got to
change
try
your
it. You're all
life.
done. You're all done. If you get that.
Oh, Boo's got his question. Three,
Yeah.
two, one.
All right, so out of all the locations that you guys have like franchised over the years, were there ever some that either like failed or just like you started losing money and like you had to close them? And like, what do you learn from that in terms of like opening up new places?
Got it. Hey, can I just reiterate that so we have it on audio?
Yep.
Abu, a.k.a. Big Fresh, asked, you've opened up 1 million locations, Sharon. Have there ever been failures, and why do those failures occur?
Well, not in our organization, but I know
She's talking shit.
But I'll tell you, I know over the years with other organization and here I'm True Corporate that they have and they've shut them down, because it just wasn't the right one. I mean, I know right now I was just with Renee. You met Renee, remember? Corporately, the Marine.
Oh, yeah. Renee's on the ball.
Yeah. She's a straight up friggin' sergeant from the Marines. But me, her, and Rocco was sitting down last week, and they were talking about this location up in, I think it's North Reading. They're building at a skating rink, and they're gonna open up this Dunkin'. And Rocco's, the franchisee too, is my boss's son. He's like, I don't get it, why? I don't see no volume. Why would they do that? Spend all this money and put it that you're lucky if you're gonna make $7,000 a week if you're lucky. And it probably will fail. And it's just depending. And it's strange to see Dunkin' approve a location where it'll fail. But sometimes in the business world, they're like, all right, to them, every location that opens, money in their pocket.
Yeah.
So it's like, hey, yeah, I want to go open it. But for a store to close down and fail is very bad for them. It happens, Not, I wouldn't say in the New England market as much as, other markets.
Mm-hmm.
Around the world, to be honest with you,
That is your question?
Is that all right? Yeah, it's good. Yeah, I mean, it's what. Yeah, I mean.
Well, me and Abu are just plotting. We're just thinking.
Yeah, you're trying. Yeah,
No,
yeah.
how do we take down the Sharon Smith empire? How do we do it? So, okay, you made your sales pitch. One second, let me check my phone. I had 2 questions I thought would be good.
All right.
You enjoying yourself?
Oh yeah.
I got you a shirt. I got you a shirt over there.
Ah, thank you.
Let me find it.
But I got to tell you, I got to get Nick or Vinny over here.
We'll do a big episode.
Oh, we got to. I'm telling you right now, you'll be so impressed. All right.
Let's see.
And number 1, I call him the big guy.
The big guy.
That's his name.
Because he's cutting you checks. That's why. So, okay, cool. I asked most of my questions. Abu, you good on questions? Okay, I want you to just give me, if you go into Dunks, right, fresh mind, you haven't been there in a week, you're fiending it, what are you getting for your order? What are you going to order? You going to order bacon, egg, and cheese on everything? Like, what is the best, honestly? I don't think you can really I love Dunkin's breakfast
I was just going to say, I think that most people, iced coffee is the biggest thing, without a doubt.
With caramel swirl.
I'm just going to say, caramel swirl is the biggest seller. Bacon, egg, and cheese on everything bagel is huge. And right now, the apple cider donut is like kicking it.
Ooh, I didn't know they were doing
Oh,
those.
my God. Dunkin' finally got on board with the apple cider donut. It is insane.
It's selling like crazy.
Oh, yeah. That and pumpkin right now is huge. But your biggest thing is,
it's early, too. It's still summer.
Listen, it's the end of August. What is it? August 26th, you guys said, right? Yeah. So, I mean, you think about it, they come in. It's usually your basic person, medium iced coffee, caramel swirl, cream, bacon, egg, and cheese on everything. Maybe they'll throw in the hash browns and a glazed donut. That's your classic person. I haven't been to Dunkin' in a while.
And maybe
That's
a blue
what I'm gonna
Powerade,
get.
too.
Exactly. You got to have a Powerade or a bottle of water,
So, how do they approve the festive donuts? Like, because is it like 3 new donuts every month type thing?
Yeah, sometimes 1, sometimes 2, sometimes 3. Every month they come up with something. They have down in Braintree, they have a test kitchen, and they hire these people, to come in and test this product, and they'll pick like a store where we're gonna use you as a test for this product. You know what I mean? It could be like, say it's fresh pawn. I think, what did we test before? I don't know. Pizza one time. We did pizza one time. But it didn't last.
Dunkin's did. Oh yeah, they did. I remember that.
Yeah, that was really that was strange. And they'll see how it goes.
The
and
flatbread's been flying though, right?
Well, they stopped them years ago.
Oh, they stopped flatbreads?
Yeah. Well, now they have the mini
snack wraps things.
Yeah, the wraps they have. You know what I mean? They simplified the menu. About like 3 years ago, but it's not that simplified because no matter what, everybody gets this sauce, egg, and cheese, bacon, egg, and cheese, and it's like you took away everything else, but now it's just mental with breakfast sandwiches.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I mean? So it's just crazy. I mean, the biggest thing with Dunkin's, they keep their biggest competitive. You guys keep saying Starbucks. It really ain't Starbucks.
McDonald's.
Yeah, very good. Yeah.
And there's one right up the street. Is that a Burger King?
There's a Burger King up the street and McDonald's in the shopping plaza.
So it's well, that one thing my dad had told me is he was like, you can make food, right? You can have chefs make the food, but where restaurants really make their money, the drinks.
Yeah.
Because you don't need anyone to prepare it, really.
Yeah, exactly.
Is that the truth?
Oh, yeah.
That's the highest margins are on drinks?
Oh, yeah. I mean, profit margin, drinks and donuts. Sandwiches are tough.
How did Dunkin's maintain freshness of the product? Because
They have rules.
strict.
Strict rules. You know, your bagels like every 8 hours. Your donuts are 24. Your muffins are 18. They're very, very strict, and every store has these books and these sheets that you have to go by. Is there those stores out there that fumble and this and that, but not in our organization?
Not on the Sharon Smith
exactly.
bus.
It happens.
What do you do with excess product?
You have to throw it away.
I'm gonna start,
Don't have a choice.
I'm gonna start camping out there at 8 p.m.
No, you can't. No, you can't. You can't take a chance. Insurance wise, someone homeless or something. We give a lot to the community, homeless people, money wise to Pine Street Inn, to Children's Hospital. If you go and give product to somebody and it could happen. I got a needle in my donut. You know what I mean? And there goes a lawsuit.
That's happened to you?
No, but it could. You can't take that chance. You don't know what people can do.
Anyone ever slip in your stores?
Yeah.
That's probably terrifying.
Certain locations, all right? You got those locations where you got those type of people.
Yeah.
And it's always a scam, and sometimes there's an accident, and you get those scams, they just know how to do it. And these days, insurance companies are like, hey, let me throw you $5,000, see you later,
We'll take it.
Yeah.
I might just show up to your location and slip. Trip up real quick.
Oh, my God.
Okay, well, hey, that's the episode. I'm going to try a new closer here. So listen. Again, this is Connor Hallway from the Golden Hours podcast. I am with Sharon Smith of
Dunks.
Dunkin' Donuts. And again, if you guys received any sort of value from the episode, just share it with a friend, man. That's all we ask. And so, Sharon, this is how we start and end the episode.
No problem.
Well, do you want to get anything off your chest before you leave?
No, I think I'm good. I got to tell you, I think you're great.
Thank you.
And I love your energy.
Thank you.
And you talk to me about where I'm going. I want to know where you're going. All right?
I'll tell you after the episode. With Big Fresh's help, we're going to do a lot. So, this is how we start and end the episode. You say, hi, your name.
Yep.
And this is my golden hour. Directly after no break. Hi, your name. And that was my golden hour.
All right.
You got it, Sharon?
Got it.
What camera you on us on, Boo? Let's do it. So, we're going to look at this one. And Sharon, I thoroughly enjoyed this. I had a blast, man.
Yeah, I got to tell you, this has been the great golden hour I've ever had. And I got to tell you, I think you guys are great, and I can't wait to come back on.
Yeah, Sharon Politics over here.
Yeah.
She's like, come buy my donuts.
No, I appreciate it, and I got to tell you, you got a lot of energy, and I think this is a great podcast.
A lot of coffee, right?
Yeah.
A lot of dunks, in case corporate's watching.
I got to tell you, you guys are good.
Thank you. All right, so do you remember?
All right. I forgot.
Hi.
Hi.
I'm Sharon.
I'm the Sharon Smith, and this is part of my golden hour.
No, absolutely not,
All right,
Sharon.
all right.
Hi.
Refresh me.
Ready? Hi.
Hi.
I'm Sharon Smith, and this is my golden hour.
Got it.
Directly after, though.
All right.
Hi, I'm Sharon Smith, and that was. So this is and that
Gotcha.
was.
That was. Hi, I'm Sharon Smith, and that was my golden hour.
And then, no, you got to say, this is my golden hour. And then that was my golden hour.
Are we in comedy now?
Yeah. Everybody messes this up.
You guys could have gave me a sheet over here,
Oh, a teleprompter? We're in the back of a warehouse, all right?
All right. So that was, and this is.
So say, hey, I'm Sharon Smith. This is my golden hour. And then take a break. Hey, I'm Sharon Smith, and that was my golden hour.
Hey, this is Sharon Smith, and this is my golden hour.
Bang.
And now, that was my golden hour.
We'll give it to her, man. let me know when you're ready.